Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hustling Muscle Show. We are again connecting. It's a lovely Thursday evening, and I'm going to be joined with Dr. Mukherjee. As you know, today we are talking about menstruation and fitness. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about menstruation and nutrition. So let me not waste time and get on Dr. Mukherjee. I see her, I waved, and I'm going to send her a request to join. So, joining us immediately. So I hope everybody is doing good, and I hope I'm getting a lot of inputs, a lot of DMs. Guys, thank you so much. Dr. Mukherjee, a very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi,
It's
good evening, Prateek.
it's always a pleasure to have you. And so I was just telling the audience out there. So this week we are doing it on menstruation. We are doing it first with you, understanding the fitness point of it, and then we're going to be doing it with Gauri, understanding the nutrition point of it. So it is going like a topic. We see the fitness and the nutrition side because a lot of people have said they like that rhythm. We started that last week, and so we're going ahead with this. So guys, we're talking about that time of the month, which is, I think, kind of difficult for the ladies. We are trying to understand how we can help. We are trying to understand what we can do. We are trying to share our inputs. Rather, Dr. Mukherjee with her expertise, Gauri with her expertise, they are sharing their inputs. I'm just a medium. I'm also learning with you guys, just trying to understand things, improve my knowledge with the great ones here. But Dr. Mukherjee, without wasting any time, let's start. So a lot of ladies, during this time of the month, during the period time of the month, they find, it difficult to exercise and things like that. But, they have a problem. Everybody has this myth that should they work out or shouldn't they work out? Okay. This is a very, very common thing. A lot of ladies also ask me this. So that is why, this was one of the first DMs I got when I put it out that, planning to do this. So I wanted you to, maybe address the people out there, are there any precautions they should follow? Is it safe to work out? Is it a myth or how? Could you just, help out the viewers with that?
Okay, so first of all, I wanted to educate everybody about the different cycles. Like there are 4 cycles in an entire month, which happens for women, so of reproductive age. So what happens is first they have their menses, that is day 1 to 5, and then they have their follicular phase, which lasts up to 5th day to the 13th day, post which they have ovulatory phases for 2 to 3 days max, and after which they have the luteal phase. So whatever discussions we will be doing according to what exercises to be done, I will be explaining it in the form of these 4 stages. And secondly, not doing exercises during your menses is definitely a myth. It has been proven through numerous studies. In fact, 2 days ago, I just shared the most recent studies, which have been done from 2019 to 2022. There were 5 studies which showed that not just exercising works during menses, but it also reduced the pain or primary dysmenorrhea, which is painful periods, which a lot of women experience. So it reduced primary dysmenorrhea. It did not increase the volume of blood loss during that time, which a lot of our elderly people keep telling us, that's a complete myth. It has been proven through numerous studies done on elite athletes that it did not increase the volume or did not make us weaker during that time. And along with that, exercising is great because it releases serotonin. In my 5 studies that I had covered, I had also told about how different exercises can help during this period of time. So definitely do it for the pain, do it to feel better. Movement is always medicine, as I keep telling. Along with that, do it to take care of your primary dysmenorrhea. Okay, as a condition, I also encourage women to do it even when they have PCOS as well. So it's beneficial for everybody, and there are numerous studies supporting this.
You actually put on it a very important point. I remember these friends who come and tell me it's so difficult for them to even get up and do anything. They're like, this pain will literally kill me, and I'm like, okay. So when you give out such information, and I know Dr. Mukherjee out there does a lot of research. It is a lot of studying she does, day in and day out. He keeps updating herself, keeps checking before she says anything. So there's a lot of evidence. She has a lot of research she puts in and then gives out this information to all of us, guys. So we have to actually appreciate that. Now, Dr. Mukherjee, moving on. Okay. Are ladies weaker, during the period time, during this part of the month? Okay. And will workout help them improve their performance, things like that? Why I ask this is, I know this is one of the most discomfortable times of a month for the ladies, but understand, we have women athletes, we have cricket players, football players, we have people representing in the Olympics. Now the schedule for their events is not on their monthly cycles. The dates, it can be the worst time of the month for them, but still they have to go out there and perform. How do they do that? Things like that. This is one question that cropped up in my mind. Why don't you explain, to the viewers out there how this works?
Okay, so here again, I will be looking forth and I'll be presenting a study which was done in 2006. This was done on 241 elite female athletes of reproductive age. And in this study, basically, the scientists wanted to find out whether this has any change in their ability to perform. This has any change in how much pain they feel during performance, during training, especially during their cycles. And this also wanted to check whether, they were able to perform as much as the men counterparts. Okay. So what we found in this study was that actually 71% of women, they felt slight discomfort only prior to their cycles. That is the luteal phase, which actually has a little low energy in women because a lot of things happen during that time. There is a lot of hormonal change, but during their cycles, they were able to train and perform better. Okay. And then 64% of women actually said that they were not feeling a lot of discomfort. And these are people who are exercising on a daily basis. And then only 20% of women said that they had a very mild discomfort during their cycles in their training and performance. There were two more things seen. One is pain along with the performance. So pain was checked, which did not increase during that time for women who were constantly training and going forward with competitions. Second is the volume of the cycles, okay, volume of the blood loss. That there was no change in, okay, whether women were exercising or women were not exercising. Now, there are a lot of myths, especially in a country like India, attached to women not exerting too much, or we also have, people coming online and, I don't know, without any credibility or qualification, going forward with telling that you should not exercise at all. So I would like to say that there is literally no study, and they can open like anything, Science Direct, PubMed, anywhere, that says that women should not exercise during their menses. This is completely false information. You have to understand that the cycles are 12 weeks a year. Imagine not moving or not performing for 12 weeks a year. Imagine the lack in performance that will happen, or, especially for athletes, if they listen to such information online, imagine the effect on them. They will have a mental block that I will not be able to perform, or I'll not be able to compete in the competition. So instead of being discouraging and telling that, oh, you cannot perform, we should be actually encouraging women to get out there, show them these results, show them the research that has gone behind, so that they are encouraged in achieving their goals.
Honestly, after listening to this and this thing, I always have felt women are much stronger than men. I'm saying this with experience I've seen with people, when this is the fair share of men I have, been around with and stuff. When they have a slight bit of fever and things like that, also, no, they're bedridden. They're like, no, I'm down. I'm under the weather. I'm not moving. But then when I look at my mom and things like that, and, I've seen her, even in her illness and things like that, she keeps moving. And not only her, there are so many ladies, I see all you guys. And now, when I've been reading about this, I've been questioning you, talking to you. So, when I understand these things and I wonder, where our Indian women cricket team goes and plays the match, they win matches and come, man, that is some show of strength, that is where it shows of strength. So, it's kudos. That's actually very, good. Till you don't read about it, till you don't listen to people's experiences, you actually will wonder. Sticking to this, I have one more. You said this internet bubble is very interesting, because I know the amount of myths, the amount of knowledge, confusion, at times they scare people away. Okay. So as you said, you need evidence to be, to be proved. So there is one thing that, is over here that they said, you burn more calories during this period, this time of the month. Okay, now we know a lot of people who are looking for weight loss are vulnerable. So when they see a loophole in the weight loss system, they say, okay, let us, make the best use of this loophole, and they try to push themselves even harder, even harder, even harder. I somehow feel this is not true, but I'm not the expert. You are the expert. Is this true? Because there's a large population I know who will be believing this fact, and maybe they're getting misguided. So, Dr. Mukherjee, what's your take on this?
Okay, so what I would suggest is, see, during that phase, your resting metabolism rate does go up. Okay, higher metabolism rate means you will be burning calories at a higher rate. Now, this does not mean that exercising during that time you're going to be burning more calories. Now, why does the resting metabolic rate go up? Because during that time, there is a hormonal change in the body. Also, women's body temperature goes slightly high, and because of the hormone change, there are a lot of other things also happening, like you're a lot irritable, you're not feeling so good. So your body is actually undergoing stress. So I would not suggest trying to abuse that stressful period and trying to push yourself into exercising. Okay. I understand and I would totally support if you're exercising throughout consistently. So what you should be looking at is building healthy, sustainable habits, not trying to find a loophole and think that, okay, I did not exercise all month, but right now my metabolic rate is high, so I should be exercising right now, because your body is not going to take so well to it. And there have been studies which was done in 2006. It proved that the resting metabolic rate did go up, okay, anywhere between 10% to 1.7%. Imagine if 1.7% the resting metabolic rate is going up. Secondly, the study proves that every day of your menses is not going to be high. Okay, so suppose I have a higher resting metabolic rate of 1% on day one, and then it comes down to the regular on day two, and then it goes up to 2% on day three, then how am I getting any consistency or any improvement? So I think there is so much of variation here that it cannot really cause any significant change when we exercise during that time. So we cannot say for sure that you will be burning more calories. So that is definitely a thing.
See, it's because of this research, because of this knowledge, because of this understanding. I keep saying, Dr. Mukherjee is like the ocean of knowledge, because she keeps adding, adding, adding. You give her a subject, she will research, she will come back. And yeah, there I can see somebody is already saying, Mr. Rishi Raja, I think Mr. Shastri is saying, great, exactly. Dr. Mukherjee, thumbs up on that. Now, sticking on the
Thank
same
you.
subject, now moving forward, are there any exercise that are an absolute no-no during this time of the month? Okay, are there any exercise that will help women? Because this is one question a lot of people even ask me, that what will help us, and I'm really puzzled. People come to me and ask me technical questions, and I'm like, I am not the right person. So that's why I've started this thing there, where I can get these questions answered. So please tell, are there any no exercises during this part of the month? Or are there any exercises which are helpful? Because as you say, movement is medicine. And I know, working out at times helps, rather than staying put and stuff like that. So what's your take on this, Dr. Mukherjee?
Okay, so basically during this time, extreme cardiovascular endurance exercises should try to be avoided as much as possible. For example, if you're an elite athlete, you will be used to doing it. Okay, so I am not really talking about them or taking them into consideration here. They are used to training at higher levels. But even athletes actually suggested that there were studies which were done where women who were able to push to 90% of their one repetition maximum on a regular day, during that time, they were only able to go up to 80 or 85, because generally your energy is a little low at that time. So try not to push yourself too much, or try not to be too hard on yourself. So reduce your training volume, okay, and reduce your cardio respiratory endurance exercises during that time. I'm saying reduce, that's the keyword. Do not stop it completely. That's important. Now, next, what can help you is, number one, you can go forward with a walk, jog, run. Any of these as per your comfort level. Number two, you can go forward with simple mobility exercises, Pilates, yoga. They are all very low intensity but a high impact exercise. Okay, so these can really help, like high impact on the health, not high impact on the joints. So these can really help in improving your flexibility and muscle soreness, because it's not just that the cycle stops us from, regular activity. It also gives a lot of other symptoms also, like pain over the muscles, soreness over the muscles. So exercising and increasing blood supply over all of these muscles will actually help in reducing the pain or swelling, even bloating, because that is one of the major discomforts that women complain of: pain, bloating, as well as muscle soreness. So doing easy exercises, not being too hard on yourself, can actually help during this time.
That's very brilliantly put. I think you've given a lot of information out there. A lot of people have been wanting to hear this, and they've been wanting to hear this from experts. So it's very good they've heard it from you. Now, there is one more point, during this, this entire thing, PCOS. If you see, the internet is filled with, people who now say, I specialize in PCOS reversal. I do not have much, knowledge on this. So again, to you, can you explain to the audience what is PCOS? Okay, because a large part of women I know are facing this. They may not even know they have this issue, but they'll be facing it. Okay, so can you explain to them, how can this be, cured from a fitness point of view? Give a little explanation on this to the viewers.
Okay, so to simply say what is PCOS, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. Okay, so basically what happens is, what are the normal symptoms how women identify is, first is there may be very long or irregular periods. Second is there can be severe pain during the periods. And thirdly, this is because of increased male hormone androgen in the body. Okay, so polycystic means, poly means many, cystic means many, fluid filled sacs. So there are many cysts or follicles around in the ovary, okay, and they are all having immature egg, which does not get released on time. So it leads to a complete hormonal imbalance in these women, and that is why they suffer with most of these things. So along with this, it is also associated with, like, for example, you see this in a lot of diabetic women. You see like a lot of weight gain happening in women who are having PCOS and hormonal imbalances. So you, like any other condition like weight gain or going forward with taking care of diabetes, this can also be taken care with the help of regular exercise. Okay, we have been seeing so many studies being done on diabetic population where we are not just reducing their medications but able to reverse the problem. Okay, insulin resistance is another thing in women that can cause or be one of the many reasons that can cause PCOS. Okay, so because that also changes it alters the hormonal balance. So what we need to do is regular exercise. Try to go ahead with strength training about 3 days a week, with cardio about twice a week. Cardio can be anything, just a simple walk or jog might help. Even aerobics, dancing is a great exercise that can help with women at this time. Along with that, going forward with a low carb or low GI diet has shown a lot of improvement in women who have PCOS. So both of these things combined have shown a lot of improvement. Now, the first thing that you need to do is don't be sedentary. There are a lot of women who start to exercise only when their cycles come. Okay. And that is a problem, guys. That is why you don't have such a great experience with it, because you're starting when your body is under a little bit of stress. Understand that you need to understand your cycles. You need to understand your health and start off with the exercise slowly and steadily. So even for women who have PCOS as well as women who are just starting off this cycles, I would suggest that go slow and steady with your exercises and you will definitely be seeing results.
Dr. Mukherjee, now my next question is, somewhat of a research that I did. I came across this particular topic. So I thought, let me put this across to you and maybe you can explain this to people. Okay, is it possible to optimize your training around your cycle? Okay, can this be done effectively? And if it can be done, are there any benefits of this? Can you explain us about this entire optimization?
Okay, so first I would suggest for everybody to exercise during this time. Okay, when we talk about optimization, we are probably talking about people who are participating in elite athletics or who are performers, dancers, or at least going forward with some sort of recreational activity, or probably planning to run a marathon. So I am talking about optimization in their level. Otherwise, all levels of exercises can be done comfortably. Okay. So number one, coming to your first two phases, that is your follicular phase and ovulatory phase. This is when women are really energetic. Okay. It's not just that your menses is finished, that you're happy and energetic. It's just that the hormones are finally balanced in the body. So this is when you can really push. So try to go ahead with increasing your strength gains during this time. You can go forward with exercises like HIIT, boxing, circuit training, going forward with long runs during this time. Okay, because you can really push your body. Secondly, what happens is when you're in your luteal phase, that starts from day 15 or 16, goes on to day 28 of the cycle. That time, you need to make sure that you're not pushing your body a lot. So what you need to do is go forward with something very easy. Don't try to push your body completely into strength training. If you were probably doing a 90% of the repetition max, try to reduce it to a 70 or a 60% of your repetition max. Reduce your reps, reduce your sets. Go forward with easy exercises. Understand that you can exercise your body without really straining it to the max during this period of time. So this is the easiest way that you can optimize your performance. So push yourself during the follicular and ovulatory phase, okay, which lasts from day 5 to day 15 approximately. Okay. And try to take it easy in your luteal phase, which lasts from the day 15 or 16 almost till your day 28. Another thing is that when women are ovulating during their high fertility, we can also have a little ligament laxity. So sometimes women might be feeling pain when they are performing exercises. For example, if you're doing a single leg jump or box jump, you might be feeling a little pain on the knee, which is actually not there. So I would request women to actually record this. If this is like a monthly occurrence, it could be happening just because of the hormonal ligament laxity at the joint and not because there is an actual muscular pain there. Okay, so try to understand, don't push your body into very heavy, intense exercises during that phase also. Make sure that the ligaments are a little lax sometimes for a few women. So take care of your injuries at that time.
Okay, that's like an eye opener. That's like a wow. I'm like, this shows how the human body is made, It's like, like you said, I don't know how to put this in correct words, but it's so, one small thing can, mislead and, make you feel that there's something wrong there, but it's actually just because of a hormonal imbalance. Oh my God. That's what I say, the more sessions we have, the more we talk, I get to learn myself so much. So I'm sure people out there must be like, okay, this is why it was happening. Every time I'm sure the viewers and including me, we pick up something from you and go, yes, we're taking back something from today's conversation. It's always like that with Dr. Mukherjee, okay, and even with Gauri. Now, Dr. Mukherjee, what's going to be your punchline? Because I know this video will be seen because I have to send this to a lot of young girls who have asked me for this. Who are working out, who work on the gym with me. They have asked, okay, so I'm going to be forwarding. What is going to be your punchline to them today?
Okay, my punchline will be all leaders bleed. Period. Okay, so don't be worried, don't stop yourself, don't box yourself into a mindset that you cannot do anything. Okay, all leaders have to go through a little bit of pain, a little bit of difficulty, and then it actually gets easier. So if you have been told by a lot of your elderly population to not exercise during this time, to stay away from working out, not just elderly, there are a lot of people, other people also coming online and telling all of this, that don't exercise, only do yoga, only do one pose in or one asana in yoga. So please don't listen to all of that and don't restrict yourself. The studies have proven that you can do everything that you want to. So keep that in mind.
So, this is going to be evidence-based. So as Dr. Mukherjee is very clear, it has to be evidence-based. You have to have the studies, you have to have the scientific evidence. Only then can, you can put it forward. So agreed, a thumbs up to that. punchline that you've given. Because guys, I know on the internet, it's not only on this, there is so much people put up, I know at times you get confused, and when somebody gives you, that small hope, as I said, a loophole in the system of weight loss or a loophole in the system of fitness, reaching your goal, you're like, let's exploit it, let's try doing our best. But always loopholes don't work. You have to understand, it's not about, how a person is putting it across. You have to understand what research have they done, how much have they studied, how qualified are they. Anybody can, if I start talking about weight loss, you guys will take me seriously. I know why, because I've lost so much weight, but at the end of the day, it was not me. Every time I make a minute change in my workout, I want any suggestion, I go back to Dr. Mukherjee, I go back to Gauri, and I ask them, and Dr. Mukherjee is proof for that. I'm still, she has to still send me 2 workouts. It's pending on her. Okay. But every
Yeah.
time, like off late, I've started, wearing ankle weights and walking, but I checked with them, can I do that? Dr. Mukherjee said, yes. He said, you can very much do that. And she also explained how the entire landing of the foot has to be done, how my movement has to be there. These are things I don't know. I'm as good as you guys out there. So I need professional help. Everybody does. So when you're taking advice, when you're taking information, take it from the right professional people. But don't worry, this is not my punchline for today. This is not my punchline for today. My punchline is very simple. Okay. Okay. This is what I can say. God made women, have monthly periods, give birth. It just shows He made them how strong they are. I know for a fact, we men will not be able to go through that same pain. And, giving birth is not easy. We all know that, it is very tough. And that is why I think, women are stronger. I always keep saying mentally, physically, and now physically also. Because the more I've researched on this, the more I've read on this, I am like, oh my God, I don't even know. I was actually seeing this viral video where they were putting these particular things on men's stomach to give that feeling of how the cramps are, and nobody could take it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Guys with six packs couldn't take it. They were jumping. So I can imagine. So, as I say again, that's why God, they say women are strong because God made them, have monthly periods, give birth, and they still go on with life. If it was us, trust me, most of us would be in bed. No, I'm taking a day off. But women, they somehow go on with activity. They still put that smile on their face, and they're in the kitchen. They're in the office. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Not only in the kitchen, everywhere. So don't take me wrong for that. That just came out. But yeah, they're everywhere. They do it much better than that, much better than us, and much stronger than us. So hats off to you, women, all of you, Dr. Mukherjee. So, anyways, guys, I end it with that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. And I'm going to be reposting this video in a couple of hours. It'll be there on my YouTube channel. It'll be there on my YouTube handle and Dr. Mukherjee's YouTube Insta handle. So you guys can view it. If you guys do like it, share it with your friends. Do give us your feedback. And if you have any suggestions or have any topics that you want us to touch upon, do let us know. Do DM us. So Dr. Mukherjee, thank you so much for joining. And this is Dr. Mukherjee and
Thank
Hustling
you.
Muscles signing off. Thank you so much, Dr. Mukherjee. Guys, have a lovely evening ahead.
Bye.
Bye.